Here we are. We're live, people. Oh. Pardon me. Get in on this. Gotta edit this. Not this one. This one. I think hopefully that'll work. Yeah, that's not working. Share. Oh, here we go. Okay. Gotta share this with my community. Hopefully it works. We're really gonna try it. Haha, this is funny. Very interesting. Okay, I'm gonna get out of this so I don't repeat myself. Okay. Welcome, people. So we're nearing the final stages of my cardboard furniture extravaganza. You remember this bad boy? This is my little shelf unit that's going right next to my bed. I'm going to hang it on the wall. It's actually upside down. It goes like this. The arches are on top, in case you're wondering. Well, this arch is anyway. And then I've got my stool. So all of this stuff is made out of literally cardboard I found on the street. Cardboard I found on the street. Clean cardboard. Freshly recycled cardboard. Stuff that has not been peed on or covered by city dirt yet. And newspapers, which this is interesting, okay? I'm just a quick tangent. Newspapers, I can't believe how hard it is to find a newspaper now. I actively had to seek out a newspaper. It was insane. I only stumbled upon it by accident. So if you've lived in this city, any major city, you know that newspapers were at newsstands or little, I don't know what you would call them, distribution stands. Like, you know, there's free papers basically on every block. And those things are just not, they don't exist anymore. It's crazy. You know, I remember being in college when I was in Chicago, like 20 years ago. And there was a very, very popular daily newspaper called, oh my God, what was it called? Red Eye, Chicago Red Eye. If anybody's from Chicago and knows what I'm talking about, big ups, big ups. The Red Eye and there was another one that was kind of a rival, but it didn't do as well. It wasn't as popular. Chicago Red Eye was like the popular one. It was kind of popular among people my age, like college students at the time. This is early 2000s, okay? But these things were everywhere, everywhere. There was also the Chicago Reader, amazing newspaper. I loved the Reader. It's free. These were all free dailies that were just on the streets everywhere. You could find newspaper all the time. Nowadays, I'm in New York City. You have to have a subscription. You have to have a subscription. It's like hard to find a newspaper. I was so shocked by this, you know, because my brain is like only interpreting it as an easy thing. What's going on here? Oh, they don't care about that. Anyway, it's I did manage to get a free newspaper New York has these free AM New York, AMNY. It's kind of similar to like a free daily. But it's garbage. It's just like, it's kind of like generic news and sports news. I mean, people are working hard. I'm not calling their contributions to our city garbage. I'm saying that it's something that I don't pick up. So, sorry. I take back calling it garbage. It's not garbage, okay? It is useful. It's practical. You can see it all over my stool here. I think there's a little picture of AOC and Mom Donnie. I think this is, you know what's also beautiful about paper mache? I find this this beautiful poetry of paper mache, which I've been, really reintegrating myself with, is that paper mache is of the moment. It's of the current time. It's really cool. You can create kind of a time capsule, incidentally, just by finding random papers lying around. All these images and all this text is from this very specific point in time, and you're encapsulating it. You're making it all a unit, a physical thing. You're manifesting a physical object with papers that were, made to represent a period of time. So I just think that's cool. And that would have never been something on my mind until, I'm physically interacting with the material. So because I'm looking at this stuff, okay, there's right here, Easter Spirit Soars is the headline of the AM New York paper, right? So it's like, this is an Easter shelf, this is like April 2026, early April 2026. This thing will forever represent that, even if it gets covered. I find that so cool. Anyway, I wanted to do one thing before I start, but basically, I'm going to use this tape. Another element to that thought about these things representing a moment of time. My dad sent me a box in the mail that I received a month ago, and that box is now part of this shelf. On the box, he wrote my name. He wrote, this is what my family calls me, Mikey. But that's my dad's handwriting. It's very distinct dad handwriting. And as I was building it, I didn't even do this on purpose. It just happened to be on the back of my shelf unit. So I left it. I wanted to make that. I wanted to keep that. So my dad's going through some hard stuff right now, health-wise, and it's kind of like a tribute to him in a incidental way. So it's like these things, we imbue meaning in these things just by making things, by putting our hands, our own personal hands, into objects. It's now it's ours, When you buy this stuff from IKEA, sure, it's really convenient. And sometimes it's amazing. You can fall in love with that stuff. Trust me, I have passionately loved objects I've purchased, of course. And I think that's just as important. But there's something really profound to building your own thing and, creating a meaning, really establishing it in a period of time. Like right now, there's a lot of stuff going on in my life right now. They say when you get older, you start to experience real life. I don't know who says that. I just made that up. I'm going to cover my dad's handwriting so I don't paint over it. This is my way of preserving that, because I know if I don't tape over it, I will probably accidentally paint over it somehow. So I'm going to keep that there, and then I'm going to peel that off after I've painted everything. But life just comes at you. And I've known plenty of people who've gone through things at different stages in life. I had friends in college go through some really intense stuff. And I've just kind of always skirted by. Like I've always felt very, very fortunate that I've never had like a traumatic thing or really like life altering thing. And this year, I mean, it's just like one thing after the other. I mean, like I can't even explain to you. What's most weird about it is that I have no idea how to react emotionally. Sometimes I'm really, really sad and really upset. And other times I'm like, am I sad at all? Like, I don't even know how to comprehend the moment, you know? And I think that this makerspace and like really pouring myself into an object that I'm making. Sorry, I don't know why I'm about to cry. Pouring myself into an object. It means something, you know? Okay, I had no plan for that. Anyway, we're gonna start painting. I don't have a really elaborate plan here. I just happen to have this paint. This is white. This is decorator's white. This is just like a random can of paint that I bought to paint the apartment. Maybe a year ago, 2 years ago. So it's still good. And I was like, I could buy gesso. I have some gesso, but gesso is expensive and its mileage is not super high unless you water it down. And I figured I didn't want to do like 18 layers of gesso on this. Like that didn't feel, it's probably the better approach because gesso gives you a really solid ground. But it's also something that's for, specifically interacting with as like a painting surface. So maybe not the best thing to use for a furniture item. Considering I've seen people spray paint this, not even prime this. You can do that too. Spray paint is, there's no rules. There's no rules. My main point is here, there's no rules. I'm using an actual finished paint. It's a paint finish, decorator's white, as my primer. It's controversial, but give me 1 second. I'm going to open this bad boy. And you know what I should really have? Sorry. 1 second. This is going to speed that process up so much. I brought the brush out and I was like, what am I doing? This is going to take forever. If you're painting stuff, small objects, do yourself a favor, get a 6-inch roller. This will expedite the process. I mean, literally 200%. I mean, it will make you twice as fast, 3 times as fast. Do it, it's worth it if you have a project to paint. Brush is good for little details. So I'm gonna hold on to it. All the little crevices, those are the parts that you need the brush for. And I recommend doing those first, so you can actually hold on to the object that you're painting and not get paint all over your hands because you've already rolled paint all over it. That's very important. But it's up to you. There's, again, no rules. There's no rules. No rules, just right. Outback Steakhouse. This video is sponsored by Outback Steakhouse. Okay. We're going to start with this guy. We're going to start with this. I've shaken this can of paint up. Let me open this. Got my pair of child scissors here. This is good. Oh, baby. Oh, yeah. Just a little water in here. But, also, I don't want to do too much here. I should have prepared for the video. Whatever. I'll just go gloveless. No, that's frustrating. Hold on. Give me a second. Ha-ha! Gloves. See, in my 20s, I was much more inclined to not care about this kind of thing. But now I care. I care because having paint all over your hands for 3 days, it gets annoying. It's annoying. Okay, so I got paint. I used the lid. It's kind of an efficient way to just take care of whatever paint is on the lid. It's also a nice palette. So start off, I'm gonna just get into these little crevices. Those little crevices first with the paintbrush. All the corners. And really make sure any area that the roller can't fit, I'm gonna just dab the paint into. It just makes your life so much easier if you just take care of that first. You just do that first, and you don't have to go back, or you don't have to wait for the paint to just completely dry, because that's a pain in the ass. If you're trying to accomplish a big step all in one go, like a big step like painting, if you want it to be cohesive, nice paint job, you got to think about the steps. Just give them like a brief overview before you start. Brief overview. That's enough. It's very much worth spending a couple minutes just being like, okay, yeah, it would probably make more sense if I did that first. Trust me, you're looking at the king of cutting corners. Like any project, especially like a creative building project, if I can cut a corner, I will. I've tried cutting every corner, okay? If something is not happening fast enough, I will make it happen faster. Much to my detriment. The majority of the time, it's to my detriment. So, word of advice, word from the wise, just spend a couple extra minutes doing the prep, really making sure you've made it easier for yourself. Thinking about it before you tackle it. I can't even tell you how many projects I started and just was like, oh yeah, that's why you prime, or that's why you do this, or that's why you paint this first, and I know it's easy to kind of denigrate that approach as like, oh, well, if you're like me in any way, if you have any kind of penchant for thinking outside of the box or trying to be like a rule breaker, it's really easy to kind of marginalize the idea of, why do I have to do it that way? I shouldn't have to do it that way. There are rules, there are standards in place for a reason. It does make your life easier. Sorry if I'm preaching to the choir, but it's true. And this is actually pretty annoying to paint. Not gonna lie. These little shelves here, they're not fun to paint. So I'm gonna try to really get in there. Before I do anything with the roller. I'm serious, guys. Like, it sucks. This part sucks. It's very unfun. Maybe I should demonstrate with the stool. It's a little easier to demonstrate with. But you see, see what I'm talking about here? This spot, this corner, this corner sucks. I'm gonna try to roll in there. You can probably get a decent amount of coverage. Like, why do that with the roller first when you could really get in there with a paintbrush first? Plus, it makes it more consistent. The roller, the layer that's on top of everything else is also on top of your complicated hard part to reach. It's going to look more consistent. The eye knows. And it's hard to believe, but not every time. The eye just blends stuff together and makes it easier to, just for everybody's sake. But when you take the care and you compare the thing that you took the pains to go through the correct process, if you compare that to the thing you cut corners on, the eye will notice. An average person who has no experience doing the thing will be able to see the difference. That's just, I don't know, kind of my opinion, kind of true. Luckily, the reason why I like paper mache and the reason why I'm using paper mache is that it does lend itself to this kind of handmade feel, which is really fun. That's what gives it its charm. So there's no real pressure to be absolutely perfect here. Okay, even though I'm going on and on about these details, I'm more just using this opportunity to teach a lesson from my experience. But paper mache kind of allows for this. It really gives you flexibility in that way, which is fun. That's why it's so fun. You don't have to be perfect. I love woodworking and I love building stuff out of wood. But obviously I can't have a wood shop in my apartment in Brooklyn, New York, in my tiny living room with my neighbors sharing a wall that's 2 inches thick that you can hear everything through. They can probably hear me talking right now. They're cool. Imagine if I tried to have I use tools in here. I have used tools. I use a saw every now and then. It's so loud. Maybe in my 20s I would have been. There's less inhibitions about that. That's why you get wiser as you get older. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, Doug? And what I was going on about is, while there are beautiful, amazing things you can do with wood that I really, really profoundly appreciate, I love woodworking. I think it's one of the most beautiful art forms we humans have developed and refined over the course of, especially in modern times. The tools that we have at our disposal now woodworking tools are unbelievable what we're able to do. I mean, I think that's something that we kind of neglect to understand is the technology that we're all capable of affording makes your average person a high quality woodworker, which is good and bad. It has its perks and it has its things that you can, be critical of. But I think it's so fascinating, actually. I think it's really interesting now that I'm compartmentalizing the power of the modern era. Is just I constantly think about this stuff, like how we kind of thrive unknowingly, or thrive in a way that we what's the word? I don't want to say unknowingly. I want to say we thrive in a way that we're not fully understanding of yet, if that makes sense. Okay, let me get that. So anyway, what am I talking about? I'm going on that deep dive. I'm thinking all philosophically and shit. Pardon the language. Pardon me. Philosophically. Thinking mad philosophically. Mad theoretically. Oh yeah. Oh, you know what? Another little highlight of paper mache. I don't know about you guys, but I grew up, of course, reading Dr. Seuss. And I look at some Dr. Seuss books. I'm reading my daughter Dr. Seuss books sometimes, and I'm just the way he draws a house or an environment, the way he manifests this magical alternate reality every time I look at that, and I'm just that place looks amazing. I want to live there. I want to live in a Dr. Seuss book. It looks so fun. I don't know what it is. There's this one book that's a happy birthday book. And the way he has drawn the house in the happy birthday book that this little kid is waking up in, I'm I want to live there. That house looks so cool. It's kind of this thing. It's this kind of handmade aesthetic. Everything's kind of organic forms, and it reminds me of I don't know if any of you are familiar, but Cappadocia in Turkey. There are these really famous underground caves and mountain dugouts. They're from ancient times. They're really hard to date because they're just hewn straight into the rock, into the mountainside. And, that's kind of impossible to date. So they are a little bit ambiguous, but I think they placed them around the year, probably early post BC, 100 to 1000 AD, something like that. But then, it's kind of impossible to know. So there's wild theories and all sorts of stuff. The the one place I can't remember. It starts with a D, but it's like this entire underground cavern city that's like 8 levels deep, and it's below. I think it's near or below Constantinople, modern day. Oh, I can't even remember the name of the modern day town. What is it? How do I remember Constantinople, but I can't remember the modern day town? Oh wow. Istanbul. Jeez. Istanbul. So here I am painting these. It's kind of hard to tell from my camera, but I'm just going into the crevices, all the crevices, the hard to reach parts with the paint roller, doing that first. After I harped on about it for 20 minutes. Can't forget to do that with my paintbrush. This place, Darenku, something like that. The underground city. It's incredible. It's like mind-boggling. It doesn't make any sense how these people made this place. And like the idea that they were using only firelight as their light source. Underground, okay? Hewing out an entire mountain underground, creating these elaborate like system of rooms and hallways and stairs, doing this all like carving this out of rock, like just it's crazy by firelight. That means they had to use the fire during the day every time they were in there. Like we look at it now and it's very easy to be kind of it's kind of like ignorant of that because we have all this electrical lighting and they've wired the whole place up to be visible, when they have tour groups down there. And it's pretty easy to see your way around. But like if you imagine back then, they must have had to have fire going all the time. They're literally like 8 stories underground in a mountain. Darienku, I think it's Darienku. It's something like that. Look it up. What I need is a chat, an active chat, where somebody's actively looking that up as I'm talking. And I'd be like, thank you, yes. And then we bring up an image of it, and then you guys all go, wow, you were right. Paul, you're amazing. And I'm like, I know, right? I am amazing. Isn't that amazing? What am I talking? What? No. Okay. Got all the tricky parts filled in. I got a couple more tricky parts than this guy. Like you can see that whiteness. It's already giving that Dr. Seuss vibe. I'm kind of considering doing this crazy overhaul of this entire apartment and making that my thing. Presenting that to you guys, to the internet. Being like, I'm going to turn my apartment into a Dr. Seuss novel book. Because I like that vibe so much. Not because I'm trying to live like in a Dr. Seuss book. I just like the organic feel. The organic architecture feel. And I'm not talking about these arch trends that Amazon has turned into easy money now. I'm talking about like true weird shaped stuff There's kind of stuff like that from the 70s, you know, Earthship kind of stuff. If you looked at, do you have any awareness of that? Earthships. This is all like sustainable architecture kind of stuff. Kind of like geodesic domes, but not the same. Earthships are like this brainchild of this guy, I forget his name. But basically every single part, it's a house that you build out of sustainable materials, and every single element of the house is sustainable, self-sustaining, and recyclable, and made from recycled materials. Either natural materials or like the foundation is built from old car tires. So they like pack a bunch of like old tires, old rubber tires with dirt and earth and build out the foundation of the house. And then, so they're recycling old tires, and then they're using that as like a thermo insulator for the house. And then they build half of the house in a hillside, so that the front of the house is exposed, the back of the house is underground. So it naturally maintains stable climate. So in the summer it's cool because half of it's underground. In the winter it's warm because half of it's outside, getting sunlight. And then there's all sorts of stuff, like they put solar panels on them and stuff like that. Super cool. Like when I found out about them, I don't know, 15 years ago, I was like, I will own one of these places someday. I will be in the middle of the Arizona or New Mexico desert, living in one of these things. I think about them at least, once a year, once a month. Think about that kind of living situation. I'm kind of in this trapped in this environment in New York City. Hyper urban environment. Which has its perks. It has perks. It does have perks, but it also has things that I would love to get away from. Like crowds and traffic and just city dirt. The city is convenient, I know. It has a lot of conveniences. But like, man, you get sucked into this place and you stay here. The next thing you know, you've been here for 15 years and you're like, why am I still here? You're like, oh yeah, because the industry I work in is most prosperous here and in like, only in a couple other major cosmopolitan areas. And that's about it. I'm realizing I'm painting this. And it's kind of, there's probably some plasticizers in here. I'm pretty sure that's a real word. But it's a finish coat because it has a little bit of like plasticizers, which make it more durable on the surface of a wall. And what that means for me is that it's a little easier when it's not on a surface that is primed. It's a little easier for it to come up, if that makes sense. Like if it's not completely dry and my hands on it, like I was just touching that, I can peel off the shape of my fingerprint. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so I got the inside of that painted. Now I'm going to roll top. This is going to be the fast part, hopefully. Like I'm just going straight into the paint bucket. So again, this is primer. This is not the final coat. I am trying to paint this thing green. That's my goal. I gotta buy that paint, of course. Don't have it yet. But I think this is still gonna look very cool as a white shelf, you know? I'm going to leave the bottom unpainted and paint it later. Okay, there's my back. I'll be amazed if, someone in the future gets obsessed with my channel and watches this whole video. I can't wait. Somebody's going to do that. Somebody will. Okay, remember I taped over my name that my dad wrote, so I'm keeping that on. But I will just paint over it because it'll be easier. I put a pull tab on it. So I just folded the tape edge over on itself so I can easily pull it off later. So this is the back of the shelf. Look at how much faster that is, right? So much faster than painting by brush hand. So that's the bottom, right? I'm going to leave that as is. I guess I could paint it and just let it dry on some isolated points so it's not resting on a flat surface, so all that paint is not resting on a flat surface. Whatever. Right now, we're just showing this off. I understand why people do spray paint. Spray paint's much easier to get into all these crevices. I may do spray paint, maybe I will. Why not? Okay, so that's good. I'm gonna put that in the fan. Oh, it's not plugged in. I'm gonna do some sewing with you guys. Just for what it's worth, this is the stool my daughter claimed, which I love so much. I was gonna paint all of them, but knowing her, if I did that, she'd probably get really upset. She would get sad. She would cry. That would make me sad. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to leave it as is. It's going to be her stool. I'll put this dude on. Oh, it's going to put. Yeah. Okay. Now, how long have I been live streaming? 46 minutes. Dear God. Yeah, like I was saying, future fans are gonna be like, dude, did you watch the stream from like April 13th, 2026? I know, it was like crazy that he was streaming like that back then. Crazy, dude. he had like no audience. Can you even believe that? Like, I can't even fathom that. This guy who's like the biggest streamer now, biggest creative streamer on the internet working today in 2045 had no audience when he started. That's just crazy. That's just crazy to me. You know what I mean? These will be dads when they'll be like dads in their 40s talking about this in 2040. So guys, people that were born in 2000. Oh my God. Oh my God. I have a couple coworkers who was born in 2001. I'm like, what? 2001? 2001! I was in high school. I was 16. I was 15. No, I was 6. I turned 16 that year, but I was 15 the majority of that year. What? Wow. Yo, only millennials know. You know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? Good. Son. This is fun. This is very fun. Getting this thing rolled on like this. Ooh. This is going to look awesome. I'm having a great time. I'm having a great time. I know I will make this happen. Okay? I know I've only been doing this for a week. I've had 0 interactions and nobody tuned in. I'll figure it out. You know, somebody in the future is going to watch this and be studying it. Be like, this guy, I don't know how he did it. How did he do it? We have to study everything he did. Luckily, he put it all on the internet for us. Luckily, this was at a time when it was acceptable to do such things. Before the Great Purge. Like, what? What's the Great Purge? Oh, wow. This guy doesn't even know what the Great Purge is. It's embarrassing. Dude, bro. Also, bro, wait, was it? Oh, I'm thinking of too many things right now. Making myself feel like I'm really clever. I think I'm thinking of a South Park episode. Anyway. Yeah. You know what? Maybe I'll learn. I should know this. Maybe I'll learn this paint is not good to use. But guess what? That's why you have a makerspace. That's why you do this. This is how you learn. This is active learning. You'd be like, oh, actually, Decorator's White is the worst paint possible to use furniture that you're going to be sitting on all the time. That might be true, honestly. It might be true. But you know what? This thing cost me no money. Literally no money. I mean, if you go back in time to when I bought the flour that I used to make the wheat paste, I guess you could say I spent however much that was. Like $5. But like, I didn't actively spend money to make this. I had all the ingredients already, and I found the cardboard. Okay, there we go. All right, I got some white furniture. That was fun. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Please like, share, subscribe. Check out Art Explorers Club on school.com. That's my community. What my community is all about is creative parents, people who are inclined to appreciate creativity and want to help support their children's creativity, all coming together in a community to share ideas, to figure out the best ways to help our next generation of kids succeed and really take the lead on technology, not let technology take the lead on them. That's my core message. Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm gonna let these guys dry off in the fan. I'll check you later.